141 pounds. Kellen Russell going for his third Big Ten championship, and Mike Thorn going for his second. This is how they got there. Russell, 11-0 and an overtime victory over Jimmy Kennedy, and then Thorn, real close victory over Marion. And let's hear from these finalists.
Kellen, you had a great victory just now, and you've been here before. You've won the Big Ten before, but you didn't win the national. So how important is it for you to be a national champion?
I've been working since I was a little kid to be a national champion. I've been able to come here and perform in the Big Tens for my first 2 years. And I think it's just real important that I'm able to keep my momentum going from Big Tens to nationals this year like I haven't done before.
Michael, great match. In fact, coming from behind like that, so it's obvious that you really won it. Going into the finals, you're wrestling someone that you haven't beaten before. So what are you going to do different to win this match?
I just gotta free wrestle, I just gotta let it go and just throw everything I got at him, and see if it's enough to take him down, because he's a tough athlete, and it's gonna take my best game to get by him.
141 pounds, the championship. Two Big Ten champions going after each other. Mike Thorn from Minnesota, the senior. Kellen Russell, the junior, and Thorn in fast.
Right away, which is exactly what you need to do.
Well, the guy with the great gyro, though, comes out on top.
Absolutely.
He's got the best sense of balance of anybody out there. You get on his leg like that, and we just talk about great defense on the feet. This guy epitomizes it. He always ends up in the top position.
Still green.
Russell from High Ridge, New Jersey, and a product of Blair Academy. What a great prep high school program, Blair Academy out of New Jersey.
Thorn executed that perfectly.
He did.
He got that leg down and locked, and all of a sudden the roll through comes up. Kellen Russell shuffles the deck quickly and comes up with better cards as quick as anybody in the game.
Yes, he does. Nice lift. Great pressure. He looks intense, pretty focused.
Yeah, I mean this is a young man who was #1 seed in the national tournament 3 years ago. All right, so he's been
here.
He's been here at this level, and of course, here's a nice look at this takedown here where he just lifts and pops back up and throws his hips in really well. Actually goes off the mat. Already had the takedown by that point, but
hands in front of that line.
What a great weight class this is, guys.
Cover.
I mean, 141. Yeah, I think it's got 5 of the top 6 wrestlers in the country. The semifinals were an absolute treat. Overtime matches, the comeback win that Michael Thorn had against Montel Marion, down 5-1 in the third period, and came back and tied the match with an escape takedown in riding time, and then got a takedown in the overtime. Just great wrestling.
And to do that over Montel Marion from Iowa shows just how gutsy and how determined he was to win that match.
Yeah. Escape, Thorn. It's pretty important for him to get quick escapes.
Kellen Russell, a two-time Big Ten champion, redshirted last year. He's been at this weight his whole career. Mike Thorn stepped in during the redshirt year last year and won the Big Ten title.
And I just love the honesty in the interviews. Thorn said, I just got to keep on going, got to keep on doing what I know, and hopefully it's enough. He complimented his athletic ability, and of course Russell being honest about his winning the championships at the Big Ten, but not being able to follow through with national championships. You know that's what the goal of both these men are.
That's about as calm as I've ever seen a mother in a championship situations. That's Maria Russell, the mother of Kellen Russell.
Yeah, this has got to end up in a stalemate. I was going to say that would be tough to get out of that.
Yeah. I think Mom agrees.
Set.
Great shot by Kellen, though. I mean, he was in. He had great position.
I think that's the improvement I've seen over the years with Russell. Is he's always had great balance, but he's following it up with good shots on his own. Good duck under. This is the type of action that Thorn needs to kind of create, get Russell out of his game a little bit.
By Kellen Russell's own admission, he's owned the Big Ten championships, but he has not performed at the NCAAs. He was not an All-American, coming out of being freshman of the year 3 years ago for Michigan for the Big Ten, and then 2 years ago he came back and was an All-American, but he did not get his coveted championship.
Tim, it's all about peaking. You peak for the Big Ten tournament. Now you've got a week and a half.
You got to re-peak.
You have to re-peak. You do. You have to train that way, and I think a lot of the coaches now know how to do that, and of course it's up to the athlete to actually execute it, but it's tough.
Well, that's why you also see at the Nationals, Lee, you see guys that were third-place finishers here. Jay Jaggers, I think he finished as low as like 6th and ends up being the national champion a week and a half later. So you get into these qualifying tournaments like the Big Ten Conference is, it's easy to shuffle again. Totally different order. I wouldn't be surprised to see that.
That's the end of the first period. The score 2-1 in favor of Russell. There's Joe McFarland,
the Silver Fox,
and a world silver medalist in his day, and a 4-time All-American for his alma mater, Michigan.
He's one of the great personalities in the game.
Fellow Ohioan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lee, you're from Ohio and a 3-time NCAA champion at Wisconsin. You guys were from both the Cleveland area,
yes,
right? Joe McFarland and you.
Absolutely.
Gary Mayab, the head official from Missouri. He's the head coach at Staley High School, longtime head coach at Oak Park, where he won 6 Missouri State championships as a coach. Gary Mayab, the head official. It's great to have officials that really are in the game, so to speak. And one of the great coaches in the high school system in Missouri, our head official.
This has been a battle for head position. Both Thorn and Russell like to have their head on that right side of the shoulder, and there you see a nice high crotch attempt. So Thorn will throw multiple attacks at you. He's already shown us a single leg, and that was a nice duck under off the elbow tie.
Wrestle center.
A minute 5 riding time advantage for Russell at this time. It's 2-2 on the scoreboard.
That was great defensive work by Kellen Russell to not get scored on.
There's Joe Russell, longtime assistant coach to Jay Robinson, and alongside him Brandon Agam, who is also former All-American for the Gophers.
Russell likes to hit a little duck under here. He's got the head position that he wants now. Comes back to a single leg when Thorn gave him that position. A lot of times you see guys will go ahead and hit their shots when you see them rotating from one shoulder to the next. When they move their forehead from one shoulder to the next side, they'll go ahead and hit their shot. Good technique.
Out of bounds, you see there on the right-hand side of the scoreboard, a minute 5. That's the advantage time for Kellen Russell. A 2-time Big Ten champion, redshirted last year. He's back in the lineup, and he is ranked number 1 in the nation. But the top 4 wrestlers in this weight class in the Big Ten are 1, 2, 3, and 4.
This is a tough weight class. I mean,
Jimmy Kennedy losing in overtime to Kellen Russell in semifinals, and Michael Thorn coming back. Big comeback to beat Montel Marion in the other semifinals.
And I don't think the reason why it's such a tough weight class is that everybody in this weight class has the ability to come from behind. And you could put up 8 points in a guy, and you're not assured being the winner.
That's the end of the second period. We go to the third period. The score is 2-2. There is riding time advantage for Kellen Russell. And now Kellen Russell will go down. And Mike Thorn will try to eliminate that riding time before he goes and decides what he's going to do for the rest of the period.
Yeah, he'll at least try to ride him for the 5 seconds, probably drop in on an ankle. Do some hand fighting.
Falls right on his hip.
Yeah, just when you pick Russell up, doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to land on top of him here. He's cat-like.
Whoa. Hey, you're not going to get away from Russell.
Wow.
That Jay Robinson, 25 years at Minnesota.
That's awful tight, guys. That's a decent place for Russell to camp out here.
Exactly, Jim, what you were saying about Kellen's balance and his ability to just always come out on top.
He's got the best gyro in the business. He really does. He's just, you pick him up and he's going to end up on top of you.
It was just a roll. I mean, he just rolled, and it looked like he was just going with the motion of the move. But
3 points near fall for Kellen Russell. I'll tell you what, you don't want to let Thorn out. He came from a 5-point move against him.
Well, Thorn's going to go down swinging. He's looking for the ace in the hole right now. Russell's going to be a tough one to throw it against, but what I appreciate about his guts and determination here, he's not going to go down just with this being a 4-point match. He's going to throw his best moves.
It's a 5-point deficit with that riding time advantage.
Here's the replay here. Just a leg in, crossbody ride. Most guys Oh, just a beautiful roll through. Got his hips up on top. And he just explodes at the right moment.
Kicked the leg out so he was free to turn on top.
Again, tough to come back from this. Thorn in the top position.
7-4 the score.
Yep. Now, that was an interesting sequence here. The Thorn ended up on top.
They gave the 2 reversal, and since he was out front on the headlock, they never gave the escape to Kellen Russell.
Thorn working hard. Top position, looking for back points.
25 seconds left in regulation time. With riding time, the score is going to be 4-point deficit, so he needs a 5-point move. Maria Russell feeling pretty good with 18 seconds left in regulation time. Her son about ready to win his third straight Big Ten championships. I say straight. He took a redshirt year, but for him, he's won every Big Ten championship that he has entered.
I like Thorn's aggressiveness. I mean, he stayed aggressive the entire match, trying to win, fighting hard, and guess what? They're going to be wrestling again.
A couple of weeks from now in Philadelphia at the NCAA championships, the Wells Fargo Center. You are right about that. And Kellen Russell, he's ranked #1. He'll stay #1. He's the Big Ten champion. And Maria Russell is happy.
Solid victory. I mean, just solid. Actually, you know, Thorn, if it wasn't for that one mistake, I mean, really, he might have been in there to win it.
Kellen Russell, your 141-pound champion from Michigan. We're going to see another Michigan wrestler at 149. But right now, Kellen Russell is going to go over and talk to our own Jim Gibbons.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh. All right. Coach, you're with Coach McFarland, Jim.
Yeah, I'm here with Coach McFarland. Hey, great match by Kellen Russell here. Once again, he showed his great balance.
Yeah, he's got a great, we call it a great gyroscope. He really does. And obviously, you know, those guys have wrestled a few times before, and it's great to see Kellen come out on top and get a Big Ten title.
Well, you know, Thorn keeps on going, you know, all the way through the match, so that's a great weight class and a great win for Kellen.
Well, if you look at that weight class, I mean, I think they had, you know, 5 of the top guys ranked in the country at that weight class, you know, so it was an outstanding weight class.
Well, good job, Joe. Thank you. Yeah. Back to you, Tim.
Joe McFarland talking about his champion, Kellen Russell, and that's how he got there with that big 5-point move, the reverse and 3-point near fall. And we'll be back at a 149, where Frank Molinaro from Penn State will try to inch closer to Iowa. He'll be going up against a tough freshman, Eric Grajales from Michigan. And we'll look at that 149-pound match when we come back for more Big Ten wrestling presented by Cliff Keen.